We live in a new age where now we're fighting for our right to live in communities that are overrun with crime. This one's going to be controversial. Trigger alert. Okay? Turn it off because you're not going to like what I'm about to show you. What is up, my friends? Carlton Flowers here with the Go Political Channel, and we're going to talk about this new age now that we are living in this country where we fight for our right to be chased down the street by thugs that have AK-47s. We fight for our right for our convenience stores and grocery stores to be overrun with looters and people stealing. We fight for our right for the CVS store to actually have to lock up everything down to tubes of toothpaste because people steal too much. Hey, that's the new age that we live in. I got some really interesting stuff to share, and we'll just talk it over, and I'll be curious to hear what you have to say about it. And I got something to mention at the end. I know that there's going to be some triggered people from this, but hey, listen, I'm just reporting the news. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm not taking sides in this. I'm going to present it to you and let you decide and let me know what the deal is. All right. So we've got this news story that came out that took my eye here on the dailycaller.com. So, of course, Trump is cracking down, using the National Guard to crack down on crime. And then everybody protested and said, crime is down 25%. Then we find out that the officers that report crimes were caught up in a scandal, and there's a federal investigation because they're not reporting violent crimes, and the data isn't truthful. So that's a whole nother story for another day. But then we've got this protest going on. Lots of protests where they're saying free D.C. I don't know what you're wanting to be free from. Free from law and order. I don't know. I don't get it. I remember one time many years ago when I was in D.C., I was at a convention, me and my wife. And me as a black man, I was scared. Okay, let me tell you what happened. So we're at the Dadgum Convention Center. Very nice convention center. We wanted to go get some pizza or something. And so we made the bad decision to go out at night at D.C., in Washington, D.C., not really knowing our way around town because it's a web of, the streets and everything. It sprawls out from the center and kind of makes a spider web like. Well, somehow we make one wrong turn after another, and we ended up in the hood, guys. And so there's like a junkyard, and then all of a sudden we see some rundown houses. Then we come up on this four-way stop sign. And somebody else pulls up at the stop sign the same time as us. And it's this big black SUV with tinted windows. And we're like, uh-oh, who's going first? And we're both waiting. Then all of a sudden I'm like, okay, maybe I should go first. And then I pass, and there was this thug that was in that SUV. And then all of a sudden he pulls up behind me, turns on his bright lights. And I'm like, oh, snap. We're dead. We're about to get carjacked because I'm driving a Cadillac, right? And maybe he was licking his chops thinking I got these easy marks with this Missouri license plate. We're going to get us this Cadillac. So I gripped the steering wheel, I cut left, I cut right, and we ditched him because he tried to follow us. So after we finished our business in our pants, we decided that the pizza was not that desirable, and we just wanted to get back to the hotel. So we did. Now, I've been to D.C. 10 or 15 times. It's not like I'm scared every time going there because I'm not scared going anywhere because I've been in several hoods, okay? The hoods of St. Louis, Chicago, Detroit, that's nothing new. But it was a scary experience. All that to say, yeah, there's crime in D.C. and it's rampant and the crime ain't down. I mean, if there's like 100 murders a year and it goes down to 75, oh, well, that's a good thing, right? Well, what about the 75 people who died? All right, let's get to the topic. So leaders of this activist group that are opposing the crackdown, well, they've got criminal records. That's not good. Let's just read through the story. Then I'm going to share a couple things and then a different point of view, look at something funny. Then we'll wrap it all up and put a big bow on it and call it a day. So the three leaders of anti-police group, anti-police, they're the problem. No, not the drug dealers, not the stealing, not the people mugging folks on the streets. It's the police that are the bad guys. So the anti-police group protesting President Orange Man Bad Donald Trump, his crackdown on violent crime. We're gonna clean up D.C., take over Washington D.C., make it great again. Well, they got criminal records in the district. All right. So the Free D.C. Advisory Council member Darrell Gaston served sentences of community service for 2 cases involving violence and threats in the past 9 years, while the group's executive director, Kiya Chatterjee, and campaign director Alex Dodds both have misdemeanors on their records that were dismissed after they paid bond, court records show. So Free DC organized a protest downtown on Monday and encouraged the residents to get visible, get loud, bang pots and pans in response to Orange Man's law enforcement agenda, fighting for their rights in the nation's capital. Trump does crazy stuff, and I'm not one to sit there and defend Trump. We had somebody in the last video in the comment section said, I didn't know that you were a Trump bootlicker. By God, don't dare ever agree with any policy of Donald Trump, or all of a sudden you're a bootlicker. Well, let's look at this little picture here. It says, D.C. belongs to the D.C. residents, not Trump. All right. Our home. Trump can't have it. Press conference and rally Monday, August the 11th by the Free D.C. Our home. Let's read a little bit more and then we're going to show a funny video. I got to show you this video. It's just amazing, this news video. All right. D.C. authorities charged Gaston, formerly a local politician. What a surprise. A politician with a criminal record, with simple assault and attempted threats to do bodily harm in 2016, according to court records. He later pled guilty to the second charge and received no jail time. Of course, you don't go to jail for something as simple as, beating somebody down. No. Under a D.C. deferred sentencing program, which is a whole nother thing. Why is it that we're encouraging people that, okay, you can do attempted murder as long as you don't kill them? If you just beat them down and bludgeon them, okay, as long as you don't kill somebody, you don't go to jail. You don't have to go to jail because it's not fair that those people don't have the money to pay bond. So let's protect their right to attempt to end somebody's life, and it just didn't work out. So we need to help them, right? So he wound up in court on another simple assault charge in 2018 and was sentenced again to community service after pleading guilty. Just simple community service. Maybe they need community service and it's a way to recruit. Just go get the people that are committing assault and battery. So he also had a civil complaint of harassment in 2012 and one of assault and battery in 2019 while serving as an advisory neighborhood commissioner. Why doesn't this surprise me? I mean, this is the same city that elected a crackhead as the mayor. And then Marion Barry gets caught. He actually went to jail. And then he comes back, runs again, and he won. So they re-elect a crackhead, a convicted felon crackhead, to be the mayor again. So I guess that's why they're protecting their right to crack, crime, abuse, assault and battery, drive-bys, drug dealing. Well, it's their town and nobody can come in and tell them how to live in their own town, right? Okay. So it goes on. You can read the story. I'll leave the link in the description and blah, blah, blah. And then it talks about the other person here. So long story short, is just wild that we're freeing D.C. from law enforcement. Do we just need areas in this country where there are no laws and there's no police, and you can do whatever the hell you want to do. Is that what they want? I don't know. Now, before you get these nitwits like, what's that young snot-nosed white chick, the bigot girl that said the N-word on the cooking video, who's like really, oh man, she's a mess, who thinks that the majority of black people are just rotten and no good to the core. Before you go jump to conclusions, I'm not on that bandwagon because I think that's a bunch of bull crap. I think the majority of black people are good people like me who have common sense, but then all of the ghetto folks get put on the news and the people who think that crime should be allowed. I'll think of her name as soon as it pops in my mind because you'll know who I'm talking about, because I'm going to do a couple of videos showing you some stuff that she said that would just blow your mind. It's so offensive. It's funny. It's really funny. But there are black people that don't have this point of view, that they actually want a safe neighborhood. So let's check out this one little video on TikTok that I found, and then I'll show you the funny video. I was going to do the funny one first, but let's just see what this young lady has to say. Let's play this real quick.
Do you not understand that this is what the residents want? I'm not talking about the bougie upper echelons, bougie blacks. I'm talking about the everyday grandmas that have to deal with these homeless people peeing and pooping on their steps, and then they have to clean it up. They don't feel safe when they walk into their neighborhood. The gangs and the dope boys are just standing around the corner, you know, like, do you not understand this is what they want? I remember working with a community leader, and somebody had just gotten shot. This is like 5 years ago. And I remember her praying, and she said, Crystal, we're going to have to invoke the National Guard. And that was so foreign to me. Now I understand the shit. These people are helpless. And I'm not talking about the bougie black people that live in their gated communities with their new bills. I'm talking about the everyday grandmothers, and I'm so glad that President Trump cares about them. Do you not understand?
Okay, so now that we've heard that, that's interesting. And see, there's a lot more people like her. Look, she's black. See, brown skin. All right. Now, God forbid that she mentioned something positive about Trump because she's a Trump bootlicker. Oh, gosh, that gets tiring. There's nothing you can do about that. You know, we're supposed to do the opposite of whatever Trump says. We're supposed to do the opposite. Now, something she mentioned that was interesting. You know, like 3 years ago, did y'all know that the black people in Washington, D.C. were begging Joe Biden to bring in the National Guard? I can show you the videos. We'll have to do another video on that. What happened since then? Why was it that like in 2018, 2019, no, not 20, it was 2022. In 2022, the black community was like, hey, Biden, bring in the National Guard. We're suffering here. We are under, we're in a state of duress. So bring in the National Guard because we can't fight against these gangbangers out here that have AKs. You know, what are we supposed to do? We need army people here. But now all of a sudden, of course, when Orange Man bad, if you get a Republican in there, well, then it's like racist, it's bad, you know, using the military against the people. We'll do a video on that. We'll talk about that. But I thought that was interesting. And see, there's just a lot more people like her, like me, but we don't get attention on TV, you know, and that's not stumping for Trump or bootlicking for Trump. Come on, man. I mean, it just means that we want to live in a safe environment, and there's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't matter if you're a Republican or a Democrat. You know, I think that it goes above and beyond that. All right. Now let's see this. I've got a video of a conversation between Donald Trump, Orange Man Bad, and Gavin the Greasehead Newsom. This is interesting. Let's check this out and hear what. Listen in on this shocking conversation.
Donald, I demand you stop cleaning up Washington, D.C. right now. If you end the homelessness and crime, everyone will know I could have easily done that in California. How am I supposed to run for president in 2028 if everyone knows I never do anything?
Gavin, I had to clean up D.C. It's like a third world country here.
How dare you, Donald? What you're doing is somehow homophobic and fascist.
Instead of wasting my time, why don't you fix those problems in California?
You know damn well if I did that, I'd have nothing to campaign on every 4 years.
Okay, then why don't you at least rebuild the Palisades Palisades then? It's been 8 months since the LA fires burned it down.
I would if I had the money.
Well, what happened to the money we gave you?
It's in my pocket right now, and I don't have time to get it out.
Gavin, take the money we sent you out of your pocket and use it to rebuild the Palisades.
You know what? You're being unreasonable. Screw you!
Is everything all right, Gavin?
No, the president's making me look bad. I'm so upset right now I don't feel like fixing California for at least another 4 years.
I know what you mean, Gavin. I've been mayor of Los Angeles for 3 years and still don't feel like doing anything.
Donald,
Oh my God, the mayor of the mayor of Los Angeles. Oh, that's pretty good. We're gonna do more of these. What's the name of the channel? I'll put the link in the description. Let's see here if I can get the channel name. It's Freedom Tunes. Yeah, that's it. You know, one thing I noticed that's interesting is that the Orange Man and Gavin Newsom have a lot in common. You got Orange Man with his makeup, and you got the grease head here, Gavin slick back Newsom, and they're both kind of narcissistic. You know, except for the fact that our crazy Orange Man bad, he doesn't like people dying. He doesn't like wars. We do know that about him. He does say and do crazy stuff. And some of those tweets that he makes on X and Truth Social, they are kind of off the chain and crazy with the all caps and everything. But these guys, they have a lot in common. I mean, it's just bizarre. Now, what I want to know from you is your thoughts about people protesting for freeing the city from being allowed to have crime. Is that it? Explain that to me. And how it's apparently racist if you crack down on crime or something like that, unless you have a Democrat in the president's seat. So if you have a Democrat, you can crack down on crime even though they don't. And you can ask for the National Guard, and they can call in the National Guard, and that's okay, even though they didn't. And then tell me what you think about these crime statistics and this federal investigation that's going on, because the first thing that the people who reacted to this just because they hate Orange Man bad was to say, well, crime is down 25%. And then we find out they're lying. And if you actually think crime is down 25%, I welcome you to go to the hood in D.C. at nighttime and hang out there. And let's see if you feel comfortable. The crime is down. So this is a controversial one, and I apologize to the overly sensitive people who might think that I am being pro Donald Trump because I brought this up. I know that triggers you and you're going to get very upset. Go ahead and air it out in the comments. Get upset. Pitch your hissy fit. That's all right. Get it all out. Let it all out. Deep breath in. Let it out. And then I would love to know if there are African Americans. I hate that word. I'm an FBA, foundational Black American, like me. You know what? You ought to go check out Jason Black of the Black Authority and hear what he has to say about this. He doesn't like Democrats or Republicans. He doesn't trust Trump, the Republicans, and he absolutely hates the Democrats. And he is an independent thinker like me that doesn't fall for this bull crap to the point where we got people protesting for the right to have gangbangers and crime and people pooping on your doorstep. Let's free D.C. from the police and the crackdown, because we need our crazy folks pooping on our doorsteps. Hey, hit the notification bell, because I got a lot of good controversial stuff coming on that I want to know your opinion of. Okay, so tick the bell, like, subscribe, share it with a friend, share it with a fellow FBA. White folks, jump in there, share. You know, my lovely Caucasian Americans, okay? I love you all. Indian Americans, Muslims, okay? Alhamdulillah. All of you guys out there, it's a community, a diverse community of people that comprise of the subscribers to this great channel. So join me for the next one. I got a lot of new stuff coming for you, and we're just going to have fun with it and just see where this goes. That's all I got for this one. This is Carlton, and I am out.